When it comes to quant, the number of topics that we have is the highest from all the three CAT sections. But this is also the area which is most under our control. What do I mean by that? If you feel your English is weak or DILR is something that you're finding tough, you have to put in a lot of practice. And we don't even know what is going to come. Yes, we're going to get RCs, but they could come from any sources, any genres. There could be any DILR case which they can hit us with, right? But if you have gone through the lessons in quant, you understand the concepts, you've put in the practice, you have the right test taking strategy, and you have prioritized the lessons in the right way, that is probably sufficient to get you a high score. But it's important to understand that even though the syllabus is same, CAT Quant is very different from board exams. First off, in our board exams, we will have questions which will be of 1 or 2 marks, some for 5 or 6 marks, and some for 8 or 10 marks. So you know that you're going to spend more time in the 8-mark question than a 2-mark question. But in CAT, all of the questions, if you get them right, you're going to get 3 marks, which means that you need to find the questions which are easy or medium difficulty and the questions that you can solve faster. The other thing is, even if you don't get the answer right in your board exams, if you have more or less solved it right, maybe you made a silly mistake somewhere, you are still getting step marks and you're still salvaging the time that you spent. But in CAT, you either get it right and get 3 marks, or you're getting 0 or more likely -1 out there. So you have to get it right. That also means that you don't solve the way that you've been taught in school. You want to solve it quicker and faster. By that, I don't mean that, you need to know Vedic maths and all of that. Yes, knowing certain things are important, and I'll talk about that as well. But these questions will be more conceptual. So if you can find the faster conceptual or logical way to solve it, that is what is needed. And the last thing is, you can score full marks or really high marks in your board exams. But in CAT, you can even get to 100th percentile in the quant section without scoring full marks. In fact, there are very, very few people who are finishing the section, and you definitely don't need to. Look at the marks versus percentile for the last 3 years. Now, the sectional cutoffs are somewhere around 80-85 percentile, with 85 percentile being the highest. And as you can see, somewhere around 4 to 5 questions is sufficient to get there. And somewhere around 8 to 12 questions out of 22 questions is enough to get you to a 99th percentile. And this itself will go a long way towards an overall 99th percentile target. Now, if you're wanting to score 99 percentile overall, I'll link the video which I've recently shot where I've given a plan for 3 months from now till CAT so that you can follow those steps. But coming back to quant, forget 99th. Even to get 100th, you can see that you can get it without finishing the entire paper. These, for example, are Vignesh's scorecards over the last couple of years. You can see that the previous year he had to get 58 marks to get 99.99 percentile. But the same percentile came at a much lower score last year because the section was harder. And that's again something which happens. If the section is tough, then the marks that you're going to need are lower, and the marks that you're going to need to get an overall 99 or higher will also drop. For that matter, any percentile, the marks required to hit that percentile will drop. So how do we get to a 99 percentile in quant in 3 months? So you need to do 3 things. First is preparation, and that preparation has to be conceptual, because we're going to get more conceptual questions as opposed to, questions where you need to, come up with a lot of calculations. You don't need steps like I mentioned. In fact, since CAT has brought in a calculator, the number of calculation intensive questions have reduced. The next thing we need is practice. Practice is going to give us the ability to solve more and more problems. We're going to be able to solve those questions faster because our speed would have increased, and we'll also figure out where we are making silly mistakes and reduce those. At the same time, one very important pillar of this is test strategy. Without a good test strategy, you are not going to get a high percentile because you might end up missing the easier questions which are there. So we already have a very good strategy, which is the 688 strategy that's worked out for a lot of our students, as well as, the MockCat community on YouTube. So I'll link the video where Vignesh has explained the 688 strategy, and he has also demonstrated it using a CAT paper as well as a live sectional from mockcat.com. But before you take sectionals or mocks, what do you prep? So what I would recommend is starting out with arithmetic and then algebra. Probably the most important topics would be percentages, interest, profit and loss, averages, allegations, time and speed, time and work, and probably linear and quadratic equations and logarithms. Once you're done with these 10 topics, look to finish the remaining arithmetic and algebra topics, and then probably geometry. And then from there, you can come to modern maths as well as numbers. But arithmetic and algebra is where you can expect the highest number of questions, followed by geometry. Remember that you need to prepare these conceptually. Now, as I said, CAT is very concept oriented. So you need to understand this conceptually. So you need access to high quality video lessons and not just text, or you can't just start with practicing. And if any of you feel that you want access to high quality video lessons, our self-study pack is something which is available at a very, very affordable rate, where you have a lot of video lessons covering everything for CAT. You also have practice questions from easy, medium to hard. You have 25 mocks, 45 sectionals, you have our speed modules, daily quizzes, daily POV, and a bunch of things. So if you want it, just call the number on the screen in front of you. Once you're done with the concept-based prep, before you go to the practice questions, you need to make sure that you know the concepts. So I'll link another video which Vignesh has done, where he's explained the right way to prepare and narrate the concepts, and where we've also shared this concept checklist, and you can use this to make sure that you know the lessons. So for example, if these are the concepts which you know, but these are the two that you've forgotten, then you accordingly fill it and you go back and revise these. Once these are done, then something like our unique speed concepts, where you're going to have questions which will test whether you are conceptually getting things right or not, is what will help. And you want to be in the green. You want to get a high score. If you're getting an 8 or a 9 or a 10 out of 10, you know that the majority of CAT questions you will be able to answer, and you'll actually see that in mocks as well. Now, once the concepts are done and you're clear, how do you increase the number of questions? One is, of course, the test taking strategy, which I've spoken about, but there are certain other things that you can do. So these are some of the things which you could look to remember. Now, tables for most of us, that will mean from 11 to 19. Fractions like these will help us not only in getting to the answer faster, but sometimes, you could figure out things from the options of even from the question. You can also look to memorize squares, cubes, some of the higher powers, as well as algebraic expressions. Now, remember, these are all after your arithmetic and algebra concepts are done. It also helps to know factorials and primes. And one thing you should definitely know is there are 15 primes from 1 to 50 and 25 from 1 to 100. This is something which potentially could be useful. And like this, there are so many more concepts that you can get in our video lessons. So what are you waiting for? Start off your prep now. Arithmetic and algebra, followed by concept narration, and then speed concepts or some form of practice. And that is what takes you to mocks. Now, if you want to know how frequently you should take mocks or how to analyze them, then I'll link another video that I've recently shot, and hopefully that helps you. All the best.